Check this out, guys. This is Matt's home and business. Morning, Matt.
Morning. How's it going?
Hey, pretty good. We're here because CDFA decided to come to your house yesterday, right?
Correct.
Could you tell us about what happened?
Yesterday was Sunday evening, about 3 o'clock. I had about 5 people from the CDFA show up in unmarked vehicles, and they had license plates that weren't the same on their vehicle. It was out-of-state license plates. They showed up, they parked down the street, they knocked on my door and asked if I had any chickens, and I told them. I turned around, my sign is out here, it's been here for...
You were standing at your doorway, right?
Correct.
Right, so if we can get back over here, so you were standing in your doorway, and you basically told them to turn around and look at this sign.
Yes.
And let's show our viewers here. Wow, it does say chickens.
Yes, it's double-sided, and it does say chickens, ducks,
So
geese.
when they walked up here, I can clearly, I drive by this house 4 to 6 times a day during the weekday on this street, and I've seen this sign many times.
Correct.
So I know the sign exists here. So
Yeah, I've been in business for about a little over 2 years on paper, 3 years off of paper. I started out in my backyard, and then I went and got a business license and did it right. So this sign's been here for about almost 2 years. I'm on paper, I'm licensed, I'm registered actually with the Department of Fish and Wildlife. I hold special permits for exotic birds, game birds, and whatnot, as my board could see. So they came here yesterday about 3 o'clock p.m., asked if I had chickens. I turned around and says, actually, that's what my sign says. And they said, oh, I didn't even see it. And I told them, let's cut to the bullshit. And so we argued back and forth, and they told me that they needed to test my chickens. I told them for a search warrant. They said that you're going to play tough guy. You're going to be one of those guys. I asked them certain questions, and they had no answers for me. All they said was, I have good points. Like, they're walking around. If they were trying to control the situation, don't you think that you would put booties on when you're entering my property to test my birds? And he told me, you have a good point. And I told him, I'm not here to have a good point. I'm here to ask a question, and I want to answer. Why are you walking around if you guys are trying to control the situation and control the disease and the spread? Why are you guys walking around with medical booties from door to door and then want to enter my premises? That's a cross-contamination for any diseases. Shouldn't be right. They just had no answers for me, and basically just said, well, you had a good point, is all.
you said there was 5 guys, 5 people came up there to your doorway, or?
Correct. 2 people came up to my doorway, 3 people stood in the horse trail right here.
Right, what about right here?
Yes, right up over here along the horse trail.
Okay, so 3.
And
were they all males?
No, it was males and females.
How many females do you think came to your
2
door?
females.
Okay.
Yes, and they said that they were going door to door, so I watched them actually go to 2 of my neighbors' houses vertically across the street from me.
Okay.
And they went to my neighbor across the street. They stayed in the horse trail and waited until I was done, and they said that they would get to these houses. After I refused, they all got in the truck and left, and never ever once went to my neighbors' houses. So they're picking and choosing who they want to go around and test. The funny situation is I've been in business for 2 years, and I fly the sign outside and have never ever been stopped, never ever been tested. If they were trying to control the disease, wouldn't you stop me 2 years ago when this thing had an outbreak? Because I am flying a sign and I am on paper saying, hey, look at me, I do sell chickens. I am a huge wholesaler in the Inland Empire. And wouldn't you come to me and test me? Why 2 years later if you were trying to control the situation?
I mean, question, did they give you any paperwork when they showed up?
Actually, matter of fact, they did. They gave me 2 papers, and they're not even... It's just basically some paperwork you could print off of the internet if you want to take a look at it.
Doesn't have your name on it?
Doesn't have any name on it. It's just a thing that you could print from the internet.
Just informational stuff, huh? That's in Spanish.
And then this is another paper, which I asked him if you guys are giving me paperwork. The date says February 27th, which I guess is fine, but wouldn't you have it currently stamped with the right time date?
Exactly. So basically, they showed up to your house with this paperwork with nothing on your name on it, and threatened to come back with a warrant.
Yes, I told them that if they had a warrant to test my birds, that they could test my birds, and they said they did not. That they would go back and obtain a search warrant for my property to go ahead and test my birds.
Were you relaxing at that time, Sunday afternoon?
Yes, yeah, it's a Sunday. It's family time. It's not.
Isn't it abnormal for government agencies to show up
I
on
was
the weekend?
surprised. Yes, I was surprised.
Yeah, something's wrong here with our system when people from the government can come in on a Sunday.
Right. I asked them for an ID card, for a business card, for anything saying that, and this is the only paperwork that they have given me.
Okay. Okay, cool. Now, I noticed something before. You were showing me your business practice. Can you?
Yeah, everybody that comes to my property, this disease has been going on since June of last year. So although we do sell tons and tons of birds, I probably average 300 birds if I'm able to sell them from month to month. Well, we did goats and ponies and alpacas, llamas, because those aren't in the jurisdiction of feathered friends. So even though we're still on quarantine for Newcastle disease for birds, we are still able to sell goats and other livestock animals. So we were still open for business within the last year and a half that this was going on. So to follow proper protocol, because we are registered with the Department of Fish and Wildlife, every customer that came to our house and was able to go in our back property, we gave them medical booties, which is the same thing that the CDFA covers, but they walk all over with them. So we give these to each customer when you come in our house and go on our property to buy any animals. We give you a piece of paper with our business card on it, which you could just print this off the CDFA, but we did it as a courtesy to let our customers know and give them our business card attached to it. That way.
Yeah, that's what. It's amazing that you are following every protocol, biosecurity that you're supposed to, and these people didn't know who you are.
Right. Yeah, everybody knows who I am. The city knows who I am.
City of Norco
the
business
dog pound
license.
knows who I am. Here's my license for the last 2 years.
This one is what? State of California Department of Fish and Wildlife. I mean, you're in the system.
Correct. I'm all on paper. So my question is, why after 2 years of being in business, when I'm on paper and notifying everybody saying, hey, look at me, why are you just coming to me now if you're trying to control the situation?
Right, but when they came to you, what was their question for you at the door?
If I had chickens.
Exactly. So with all this paperwork, folks, they still asked this gentleman, Matt, if he has chickens. With his sign here that says chickens. I want you to get a look. And for the people that don't read, there's a chicken, picture of a chicken.
Correct.
You see?
Yes.
Ducks, geese. So this is, you have idiot-proof this, because when you're dealing with the state of California employees, it seems like you got to idiot-proof it, and they still failed.
Correct.
You see? So folks, there's something more than just killing your chickens. There's something more than just coming here violating people's rights. We need to find out what else is there, right?
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
What are you going to do when they come? When they come back?
I'm still going to refuse. If they have a search warrant or whatever not, we will notify the police department to have our safety and their safety covered. I just don't think it's right what they're doing. After a year and a half of this disease being outbroken, 1.78 million birds to this day have been euthanized, which is unfair. Not only do I run a business, these birds are pets to other people and to everybody. They're their loved pets, and you guys have been taking them, euthanizing them. 1.78 million, and you have not controlled the disease yet. I asked a lot of questions yesterday to the CDFA, like I gotta watch what I say. How are exotic parrots still being able to be sold? And they said that they're not. Anything with feathered friends are not supposed to be moved, transported, sold, or anything. They're supposed to be under quarantine. Well, I go to my local feed store and they are selling exotic parrots. Customers are walking with exotic parrots on their shoulder. How are we controlling the situation when we're picking and choosing what we can and not do and not sell? Another thing is I own ducks, geese, and pigeons. I'm a huge bird breeder, and they say that pigeons is a high carrier. Well, how are we going to control the situation when pigeons are our wild birds and they're flying into our coops? They're flying to our ranches to eat our extra excess seed and stuff. How are we controlling the situation? Just like the parks. I took my kids to a park this last weekend to walk around, and we fed the ducks and the geese. I couldn't tell you how much poop from feces from the ducks and the geese were all over, let alone, 30, 40, 50 geese at one pond. How are we controlling the situation when we should, go there and expand and control the whole situation? I just think that the CDFA is picking and choosing what they want to do and who they want to harass.
Will you be calling me? Will I be one of the first people you call when they show up at your door again?
Oh yes, as soon
Right.
as anybody shows up from the government, you will be here definitely to record and do everything and put it out there. I want everybody to know and be the voice for everybody. I want to stand up for everybody that has lost their birds and has went through the same thing that I am currently going through now.
And we also try to tell your friends to show up, because the only way to put these people in check is to have a lot of cameras on site, rolling videos every step they make, because that's the only way. We need to identify who these people are. We need to follow back to where their leaders are.
Correct.
Who actually is pushing this agenda.
Correct.
Here's another thing. I don't know if you know, but since you're a business, they don't compensate you like if you were just a homeowner raising chickens. Did you know that?
Yes.
How much did they say they were going to compensate you? Do you know?
I brought that up to them, and they said that they would have to talk to their supervisor. I've had buddies that have their birds euthanized already and are still waiting from that actual paycheck from the government and still have not yet received the actual paycheck. So although you guys sign that paper, the supervisor signs that paper and says the check's coming in the mail, you guys, it's just a waiting process, and all my buddies in the same business has not yet to get paid.
Yeah, there's a gentleman who lost 40,000 chickens in the business. He was compensated 1 penny per chicken. So as a business owner, I don't know if it's profitable to run a business in the state of California.
I don't think it is. If that's the case, then it isn't.
Yep. So maybe perhaps they want us all to leave the state of California so they can clear this place up for housing and bring in people that won't question, who doesn't understand the U.S. Constitution.
Right.
Well, folks, I'm going to sign off at Matt's Place Business and Home. And everybody, please start looking at the Fourth Amendment and the Fifth Amendment. Know your rights. Anything else you want to tell them, Matt?
That's it. Thank you, guys. Protect your birds, and hopefully you guys could stand up with me.
Yeah, we will. We will be here for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, exactly. Miss McDevitt here says it's all about money.